If you clicked on this video, then you know I will be talking about my first year on YouTube, what I learned, what worked, how my process evolved over time, where I'm at now, and what I want to do moving forward. And I'm going to start this off with talking about my very first video I ever wanted to create. I had always just loved watching movie reviews. I love watching movies. So that was like my kind of default content that I watched on YouTube. And then one day I was talking to my friend. I was like, what if I just made a video? And I thought of this video like, oh, Iron Man 1 breakdown, because I love Iron Man 1. I made like this 30-minute pretty terrible video that was a wannabe deep dive, and I just could not get it past copyright. I used too many clips, too much of the movie. I don't know. It was just bad. But that didn't really matter to me because it was just a passion project. It was just something I wanted to try. And granted, not getting that video through copyright was probably a blessing in disguise, because then I pivoted to movie reviews and like just reviewing videos instead of doing complete breakdowns. I definitely enjoy doing what I do now a lot more. And then this leads me directly into my other point of the first actual video I uploaded. Like I said, the other one was a passion project. So were like my first group of videos, which would be my first month, January last year. So today's actually 1 year exactly from my very first video uploaded. But yeah, I started off just doing passion projects, movies I loved, movies I've just watched my whole life, like Interstellar, Maze Runner, big movies, like heavy hitters that I think everybody watched as a kid, at least in my group range anyway. And doing that worked for a while. I learned a lot. I worked a lot on trying to perfect the voiceover or like find a format, but I got burnt out quick and it became very inconsistent, because at the time I was watching the whole movie and recording the movie and then going back through and picking out the little clips I needed. It was just a very long and strenuous process. I grinded it out for a while. I put tons of hours into it. I still loved it. But if you're a creator, you probably ran into this, and even if you love doing something, if you don't get like the itch or like you don't feel like this is fulfilling me, then it's really easy to lose track of that goal and lose track of that next upload day, because you're just thinking about so much at once. It's hard just to sit down and focus on one thing at a time. And I'm not gonna lie, I took a break from playing games consistently for a while when I started first making videos, because it was my passion, right? And then eventually I got burnt, uploads slowed down, and then I got back into gaming, and then I was just putting all my time into that. And then eventually one day I was just like, I'm gonna upload another video, which I'm so happy I did. I'm so happy the breaks never just stayed breaks. Eventually I came back and I uploaded again, which I'm happy I did. And every time I came back, it almost gave me a new viewpoint on creating content. Like say my first time I was uploading videos, I was stuck on a very, very set process that was still very new, and there was just a lot of dumb mistakes I made, or I spent a lot of time editing, so the voiceover quality dropped, or vice versa. So just coming back into it with a new mindset and just that refresher, it gives you like almost a new viewpoint. Like you're looking at it from the outside in this time. You're like, okay, what can I do to make this process easier for myself, and what can I do to make this process more enjoyable for the people watching? And that is just a very big mindset shift that has come to me a few times actually. I don't think it's one thing that just happens to you once. It's just like you evolve over time. And over my last year, I've had what I would like to call 3 phases of Mediaverse. And the first phase of Mediaverse was very much accidental as much as it was planned. Like the character itself, the blue guy that represents the whole channel, was a literal accident. Like I didn't mean to create him, which is insane to think about now to see how far it's come. But yeah, he was just very much a happy accident, and I'm very glad that character came to me. But with the character aside, I have never scripted anything. I've never really written paragraphs, essays, whatever you want to call it. I did very mediocre in school. I'm not nobody special. I'm not anything crazy. And me saying this isn't me asking for pity. This is just me basically saying I'm just your average guy. So if you are watching this, I would have never got to this point to even know I could do it if I just didn't try, I know it sounds very cliche and very much Hollywood, but it very much is true. So like my friend told me, and I want to just tell this to you guys, just start. There's no con to it. You can post anything, and it doesn't have to be perfect. You could just post something you enjoy posting, and the people who also like that will naturally find you over time. And now that I kind of talked about the early stages and the beginnings of the channel, I want to talk about more of like the middle range and the biggest experimental part of the channel. And this came from me completely removing Blue from the videos and the mascot and the branding. He was still the profile profile picture of the channel, but just from the videos altogether. This was like a very big learning curve. I went really hard with it at the start. He was in the thumbnails, he was in the profile picture, he was the brand, but he wasn't in the videos, or he was very little in the videos. And that mainly came from me just not knowing how to implement him, not having the knowledge or the skills at the current time to do that. And I'm also really happy I did that, because me removing him removed the thought from the process. Like, I didn't have to worry about the character. It allowed me to focus more on overall packaging, how to structure a thumbnail, and it just allowed me to focus and tone some skills I wasn't before. And I fully believe the channel would not be where it is today without this phase, because this phase was the big refresher. This was after the first phase of me just going super hard at it. You know, I was really passionate, and then I got burnt out. And then this phase came from just pure, I like making videos, right? But it was too complicated at the time. I couldn't figure out how to do it, and I was too focused on making it too good almost. I feel like I wanted every video to be perfect. I wanted everything to be, exactly boom, 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 like a checklist, like make sure everything had the checklist done. And that stayed true all the way up through the marathon. Even my marathon videos, I mean, you can go and watch them. I don't think they're the worst videos in the world, but I just didn't enjoy it. I got to the end of the marathon, like I ended up not making 2 videos because it just wasn't what I wanted to do. And I skipped those videos, and then I was like, okay, let me start this tier list video. The tier list video was something very new to me. I never did anything like it. It was my very first just one take video, and making that video, one, I enjoyed it a lot, and once I finished it, I could watch my own video. And that's, like I said, another moment happened where I was like a third person perspective, like, okay, if I can't watch my own videos, why would other people? My biggest epiphany so far has been let it flow. Just let the content come to you. Just hit play, like right now, just hit record and talk, and just speak your mind, because people will connect to you a lot deeper, a lot quicker, a lot more personally if it sounds like a person. And my videos, even up through the marathon, very heavily scripted. It's all the same process with a different movie stamped on top. And I guess that's kind of where I want to get into where I'm going next, because where I'm going next is I want to stop scripting my videos fully. I want to become the viewer first. And I kind of glossed over this earlier, but most of my videos were just the same format, the same style, same sections per each video: intro, hook, concept and action, golden moment, the same format, which I created a long time ago, and it worked for making a lot of content, like the marathon, making a lot of content in a short period of time. So you get a lot of videos, but lower quality, and it really limits me being able to be entertaining, or me being able to connect with the viewers, which the marathon did exactly what it was supposed to do, and that's making quantity so then I could hopefully eventually end up at quality. And that's kind of where I'm at. And moving forward, I really feel like I found my voice as a creator. Like, I've made a lot of videos in a similar and small format. I was almost putting myself in a box. Like, I feel like if I broke out of the box, I would lose myself, because I note and I script and I box everything in, so I have a strict process. But that's not true. The way you connect to audiences is just branching out, letting yourself just go, just speak, just give your actual opinion. And that's exactly what I'm gonna strive to do for you guys. But yeah, if you're watching right now this long into the video, I very much appreciate it. But overall, this year just changed how I think about videos and how you perform for an audience. And what I think I'm trying to say is, I don't just want to make videos for the sake of making videos. I want to make better ones that I personally would actually watch. I hope this video brought you some sort of value, and I appreciate you watching to this point if you're still watching. But as always, stay curious and keep the conversation going.